Welcome to Behind Blue Eyes, the show that is all things New South Wales Rugby League. We'll talk to our greats of the past about the life and times of our players and people of today. Great to have you on board. Let's go Behind Blue Eyes. It is time to go Behind Blue Eyes, and what a treat today. Here we are with True Blue Paul Langmack. Langers, welcome, and how good was it to go 1-1 in the series in Perth?
It was, mate. Going into the decider at Suncorp Stadium it'll be great, and it'll be great for the players as a memory. You know, to go in 1-1, down 1-0, and then destroying Queensland over in Perth was great. Now they've got to do it again.
They clicked, didn't they? And they controlled the ruck, which allowed everything to happen. Yeah,
I just think the sim binning Queensland ran out of petrol. You know, in Origin, it's hard to play with 12 players against 13. You're playing against the best of the best. So they had to run out of petrol. They just couldn't lift their legs in the end.
But he deserved to be sin bin. It had to happen.
Oh, for sure.
Absolutely. It had to happen. All right, let's have a look at some of the other great results from the weekend with pathways involved. We saw the under-19s games, and then we saw the Sky Blues get the victory in Canberra, which was a cracking game of footy. It just means that this whole system is working well.
For sure. I think New South Wales have got it down pat, winning clean sweep for the weekend. I love watching the girls' game. Sometimes I love it more than watching the boys play. It's not as stereotyped and very skillful, and it was great.
It was a great
and
try.
A record crowd. It was sensational.
Yeah,
and we won.
Absolutely. And Isabel Kelly just brilliant.
Yep. It was great to watch and great to see it on prime time.
All right, let's break down a few of the things in and around the Origin on Sunday. Jake Trbojevic, he came back into the squad, and from the time he came back into the squad, from all reports, he brought the energy, and he did a lot of those things in the game which are so Jake Trbojevic, the bringing down of players, the defence, the busyness. It was outstanding from him.
Well, I just think his passion is infectious. Bit like Josh Adokar.
Okay.
They have more impact off the field at training, or from all reports, the intensity of training was up in a couple of levels all week. And when you train like that, you play like that. And they come out 100 miles an hour and never stopped.
Api Coruscant, he played, I think it was about 37, 38 minutes, and Damien Cook came on. It really seemed to work.
It certainly did. Well, look at the scoreline. But it'll be a different game in Game 3. Queensland, at 14-12 at half-time, was still in the game. Then the sim binning, they ran out of petrol, but we were far superior.
What about Matt Burton, the boy from Dubbo? I thought he was outstanding.
The boy Bulldogs.
Bulldogs, of course.
Bulldogs, of course.
Yeah, but the two Dubbo guys with Isaiah Yeo and himself, but he was brilliant.
He was. Great debut by the young fella. They can't drop him, right? He's got to play in Game 3. Whether Jack Whiten comes back in, if he comes in, I think he should. He was their best player in Game 1. Does he come in at right centre, or does he come on the bench because he can cover back row, 5'8", centre?
That's the big question, is do you change a winning team? And it's been a question for many, many years, because injury's part and parcel of the game that we play. Because Latrell Mitchell comes back as well. So he is an X factor. He's one of those players that can rip a game apart.
I wouldn't pick Latrell. It's too quick. His body type, he needs games under his belt to be super fit. And the game's so fast. He's a great player, but I wouldn't pick him. I'd be picking Jack Whiten before Latrell. Doesn't matter if Latrell has a blinder on the weekend, I'd still go for Jack Whiten.
Payne Haas, he left in a boot. He was, again, brilliant. He doesn't play a bad game, really. He's the engine room of Brisbane. They've named him. What do you think of his chances to be right for Origin 3?
Well, it just depends on the extent of the injury. These days, the science behind injuries and playing is second to none compared to the past. So if he thinks he can play, he'll play.
He's an outstanding impact player, isn't he? Such a big body with a big engine.
For sure, yeah. He makes a lot of yards, but we just got to see if he can get on the field.
Nathan Cleary, he was outstanding.
He was great. I don't think he played that bad, because the halfbacks game was dictated by the forwards and our forwards didn't really go forward. We're always on the back foot, so it's
In
very
game
hard
one.
to be good. Yeah, game one. But in game two, we were dominant. We had a fast defensive line, and he was always on the front foot, which is chalk and cheese.
And the thing about the great players, which he is now really, they never have two bad games in a row. Not that you said, not even that he. Like,
I
as
had
you
two
say,
bad games in a row.
you didn't. You
I
had
did.
to go back to Patricia.
No, but I
Brothers,
did.
Patricia Brothers Festival under 13s. But look, but he didn't play badly in the first one, as you mentioned. Just didn't get the opportunity because we didn't control the ruck. But there was a strong belief amongst those that know the game that he was going to come out breathing fire in that second game.
Well, good players always answer criticism with great performances, and he did it. So I don't think we shouldn't even be talking about it because we know he's a great player. And he showed that again on Sunday night.
Can we get the famous Paul Langmack crystal ball out? Because we may not talk before Origin 3. What happens at Suncorp Stadium?
Well, I think it'll be a different game because hopefully there'll be no sim bending, and New South Wales will win because we're on a roll. We've got momentum, and we need to play with that same Jake Trbojevic passion and speed of the line and defence and attack, and we'll win.
But it's a whole new movie, isn't it? It's a whole new thing, isn't it?
Yeah,
Like everything.
but we won the Origin series playing 3 games in Queensland last year.
Yes, we did.
So I think we'll win for sure.
Go the Mighty Blues. I think we've successfully gone behind Blue Eyes. Thank you, Paul Langmack.
Thank you, Timmy.